Welcome back to the Moral Decay of America. This is my channel, and on this channel, I kind of go over some of the nonsense going on out in the world, and sometimes I try to put a quick summary on it, but most of the time it ain't too quick. Most of the time I get off on a rabbit hole or a pigeonhole or whatever kind of hole you want to call it, and then kind of lose focus. But this young lady right here that I found on Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it, she pretty much sums it all up here in about 3 minutes. I'm going to play her little video so you can hear her, so that you can hear her voice. She is, in my opinion, about as spot on as you can make it. So take a listen here and listen to what she has to say. It's dead on. Here we go.
I never dreamed that I would have to face the prospect of not living in the United States of America, at least not the one I've known all my life. I've never wished to live anywhere else. This is my home, and I was privileged to be born here. But today I woke up, and as I had my morning coffee, I realized that everything is about to change. No matter how I vote, no matter what, I say something evil has invaded our nation, and our lives are never going to be the same.
Evil. Just think about all these cultures coming in. As an example, unsecure southern border, all them knuckleheads trying to come in here illegally. It's called infiltration. It's called an invasion. The society of the United States, with a Christian base, is about to be disturbed. And it's going to take the sacrifice of good men willing to fight for what they believe in to protect it. Check this out. Listen to her.
I've been confused by the hostility of family and friends. I look at people I've known all my life, so hate-filled that they agree with opinions they would never express as their own. I think I may have, entered the twilight zone. We become a nation that has lost its collective mind.
That's right. We have lost our collective mind. That's literally what I just said. We have lost our collective mind. There's no doubt about it.
You can't justify this insanity. If a guy pretends to be a woman, you're required to pretend with him. Somehow, it's un-American for the census to count how many Americans are in America. Russians influencing our elections are bad, but illegals voting in our elections are good.
Yeah, so let's take those two real quick. I mean, think about all the bullshit that we've endured over the past 5 years, right? Where you got the knuckleheads again on the left side of the fence saying Russian interference, Russian disinformation, but never could prove none of it and say it persuaded the vote. Let me throw a couple of things at you real quick. You look at most Democratic cities right now, they want illegals coming in and they're going to allow them to vote. What's worse? Russians influencing the vote, or people actually coming in being allowed to vote? That's problem number one. And then problem number two, holy cow. I mean, just holy cow. You can't have it both ways, folks. If you're going to call the spade, then it's got to be a spade all the way across. Here, we're going to let her speak some more. It's good stuff.
It was cool for Joe Biden to blackmail the president of Ukraine, but it's an impeachable offense if Donald Trump inquires about it.
Right. I mean, after all, you got the MFer on video doing a quid pro quo, and yet you tried to impeach President Trump with him releasing the entire transcript and said, hey, I'm not trying to bribe you. The entire transcript was released. Oh, but that didn't stop them. Just craziness.
20 is too young to drink a beer, but 18 is old enough to vote.
Furthermore, 18 is old enough to go and enlist voluntarily in the military. And you can do it at 17 with your parents' permission. So now I can hold a weapon of any shape, form, or fashion and can be well trained on it. I can do this country a service and give my life for it, but yet I can't buy an alcoholic beverage and you're not allowing me to vote. But I can go protect your right to vote. Again, it makes absolutely no sense. None.
People who have never owned slaves should pay slavery reparations to people who have never been slaves. People who have never been to college should pay the debts of college students who took out huge loans for their degrees.
Maybe right there, if you got a college degree, you should be able to minimally understand the written document that you borrowed this money, sign here that you're going to agree to pay it back at these terms. If you signed off on it, that's your problem. That's 100% your problem. It's not everybody else's problem. It's not that plumber's problem over there. It's not the electrician's problem. You signed up on it. You owe the money. You pay it back. It's real simple. Why would you let anybody out of that contract? Again, these are supposed to be educated, bachelor degrees individuals. They signed up for this mess. Pay it back. It's called accountability. And we got none of it in this country.
Immigrants with tuberculosis and polio are welcome, but you better be able to prove your dog is vaccinated. Irish doctors and German engineers who want to immigrate to the U.S. must go through a rigorous vetting process, but any illiterate gangbangers who jump the southern fence are welcome. $5 billion for border security is too expensive, but $1.5 trillion for free health care is not.
This one right here gets my goose also. For the love of Christmas, I don't understand the mentality again. You, the taxpayers and your government, as I like to call them, spent millions of dollars to build a website. Millions to build a website. I'm an IT. I know websites don't cost that much. Database licenses don't cost that much. Server operating system licenses don't cost that much. It doesn't take millions of dollars to build that. But yet you want to bitch and moan that we ain't got no money to secure our borders. Again, none of this makes sense, but she's spot on. Keep listening.
If you cheat to get into college, you go to prison. But if you cheat to get into the country, you go to college for free.
Boom! Right there. Take away the government tit. Stop giving away stuff. Make them earn it the way that I had to earn it. My white privilege got me nothing but more work, more work, more work. I didn't get the free life. That's what my white privilege gave me, was work. If you don't do the work, if you don't make the sacrifice, that's what you get. You get nothing. You deserve nothing.
People who say there is no such thing as gender are demanding a female president.
That's just comical. Yeah, I don't recognize genders. I want a non-binary person there, but damn it, we need a female. Yeah, come on, man. You recognize them, you just playing the game. You're a mental case. You belong in an institution.
We see other countries going socialist and collapsing, but it seems like a great plan to us.
No,
Some people are held responsible for things that happened before they were born, and other people are not held responsible for what they're doing right now.
Correct.
Criminals are caught and released to hurt more people, but stopping them is bad because it's a violation of their rights.
You're damn right. It should be a violation of their rights. Once you are a convicted felon, you don't get rights. It's over. You made the conscious choice to become a felon instead of, once again, working for what you want. You thought it was easier to just go steal it. But I got even a better solution for you. Keep this thing from happening moving forward. Check this out. Hey, you're a convicted felon. I'm not going to put you in prison. I'm going to cut off a hand. I'm going to give you a hook. I guarantee you that right there will keep you from stealing again. And if for some reason you're capable of doing it, and you get caught a second time, DNA evidence, video evidence, you got caught. Somehow. Off comes the other hand. Now you got two hooks. There's no way in hell from that moment forward you're going to be able to hurt somebody with a weapon. It's pretty dang impossible. I'd love to see somebody doing that. I've never heard of a two-hooked fella holding a gun in somebody else's face. How you going to squeeze the trigger? Yeah. So let's just cut hands off. Let's make it a permanent thing because you're not going to fix their psyche. The chances of that are low. Let's make it a permanent fix. My way. Let's try it a different way for a change instead of all this cruel, unusual punishment. That's what we need to get back to, is some cruel and unusual punishment. Maybe that will deter people from doing all these violent crimes, because apparently the threat of them dying 30 to 40 years after being on death row ain't deterring them enough.
And pointing out all this hypocrisy somehow makes us racist. Nothing makes sense anymore. No values, no morals, and no stability. People are dying of a Chinese virus, but it's racist to refer to it as Chinese even though it began in China. We're clearly living in an upside-down world where right is wrong and wrong is right, where moral is immoral and immoral is moral, where good is evil and evil is good, where killing murderers is wrong but killing unborn babies is A-okay. Wake up, America. The great unsinkable ship, Titanic America, has hit an iceberg, is taking on water, and is sinking fast. Speak up.
So, this is exactly what I'm saying. That's the whole reason behind my channel of the moral decay of America. Everything that she's talking about is 100% true. Every piece of it. There's evidence of it happening everywhere you go. And at the end of the day, it's still happening, and it's getting worse. Our society is collapsing. There's an interesting book out there called Collapse. And it's a book of a bunch of historical societies that have rose and have fallen, from the Roman Empire to the Egyptians and on down the line. Every great society collapses if it's not properly managed. Sadly, I think we're heading in that direction. I sure hope that's not the case. But welcome to the moral decay of America. Hit that like and subscribe button. More content to come. Y'all take care.